Hello, everyone. I'm Brandon K. Hedgepeth, and I want to welcome you all here to the Tansson Talk Show, where our mission here is to help bring people together. I'm so glad for you all to be here today, but let me go ahead and start off by welcoming our guest here today, Justin Liu. Thank you so much for being here today.
Hi everyone, I'm Justin. I'm a current sophomore at the College of William and Mary studying computer science and maybe an interest in media studies yet. I don't know for sure. But yeah, hi everyone.
Yeah, I'm so glad to have you here, Justin. And so, like I said, I'm glad that you are here. And so, first of all, how is your fall 2023 semester going for you?
No, my fall semester has been pretty busy. A lot of assignments and professors have already been, giving out homework left and right, but I've been pushing through it and I've still been able to you know, uh, do what I want to do while also having a lot of homework on my end.
Yeah, I bet. But have you been able to find a balance, thus far this semester with trying to figure out like your homework and extracurriculars and everything in between?
No, yeah, um, I think I've been pretty good about that where I've just been able to get homework in and then like been able to like spend the night with friends or we go out or just stuff like that. So I've been pretty well with finding a balance between, schoolwork with work with also, spending quality time with friends and like just letting loose a little bit just because, it's not always so fun or like good for your mental health and health in general, just like always being uptight and like focused on like work in general. I feel like you always have to like let loose a little bit and just have fun.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you're able to to have these opportunities to, like I said, to have fun and be yourself. And
Mhm.
I'm sure we'll talk about that, throughout this discussion as well. But I did want to actually go back a little bit. So like you said earlier in your introduction that you are a computer science student at the College of William and Mary, the second oldest educational institution in the United States. I mean, how cool is that though?
No, it's actually like super, super interesting. Like you're just on a campus that it's like one of the oldest institutions in the country. And it's like from the outside in, you seem like, oh, these like older buildings, and it's like you just get like a really old vibe to it. But in reality, like once you step inside those buildings, like how they like renovated and stuff like that, it doesn't really feel that way. But I'm so glad because it gives the like old kind of vibe, but then also you don't like feel like you're in the 1700s learning. So no, it's a great like overall balance where like you have a beautiful campus, but then like you don't feel like you're also like 10 like 5 centuries or like 500 years ago or something like that.
Well, I'm glad that they're able to mix, the historical aspects of the college alongside the new innovations. And so for you, had you always wanted to go the computer science route and at the college?
No, actually, when I applied, I actually applied as a pre-med track where I was gonna major in chemistry. But then throughout the summer, I don't know why I just had a lingering feeling that maybe pre-med or actually I was going into pre-pharmacy. I was doing pre-pharmacy and I was like, I don't think that's what I wanted to do. And I was just researching and I was like, I really like computers and stuff like that. So I was like, I'll try computer science. So first semester of college, I of course took my chemistry courses and I took some pre-med courses and then I took like a couple courses in computer science and I was like, oh, I actually really like this. So I decided to drop my pre-farm track and I was just going to minor in chemistry with a major in computer science. And then like, well, the story goes organic chemistry kind of weeds you out the rest, and that's what happened to me. I took organic chemistry and I just did not enjoy chemistry as I used to, and then I kind of uh fell out of that realm and stay but I still stayed in computer science. So right now I'm actually taking like one of the most difficult courses in undergrad for comp sci software development, and it is not fun. It is not, well, No, what you're making is cool, but like the deadlines with it is not fun.
Well, I'm sure that's definitely doozy to get used to, but at least from the way that you describe it, at least it's not as difficult as your pre-pharmacy track that you were previously in.
Um, yeah, it's definitely not as well. I feel like the difficulty level is kind of similar. It's just me enjoying it. I wasn't really enjoying, I guess, me on the pre-farm track. I just wasn't like something. There was a tingering feeling that something was. It just felt like kind of wrong. Oh, it wasn't wrong. It just didn't feel right, kind of. And then every time like I kind of do computer science, it was like it was a lot of work. I was tired, but then there was never a feeling on my back mind, or like there was never like something that was telling me like, oh, you shouldn't do this, or oh, I just enjoyed like doing the work even though it was a lot and it was tiring, but I kind of enjoyed it, you know what I mean? Like it was just doing orgo and doing the pre-med stuff. I was like I wasn't enjoying myself. It was like I was trying to force something that didn't need to be forced.
Yeah, I completely get that though. I mean, enjoyment is just such a big factor of whether you would even want to go through that track, and you don't want to put yourself through torture of something that one you don't want to do, and
Mhm.
two that you're not even enjoying, because then what's the point?
No, you're completely right. Yeah, cuz like I just felt like well, I've always like lived it the way like if it's a hobby, then it should stay a hobby, and if it's my job and I do my job, I don't want to do my hobby as a job. That's how I've always like looked at it. But then like I feel like your job shouldn't be a hobby, but at least you should somewhat enjoy your job. Then it wouldn't like there would be no meaning to your job. It feels like then you're just working the work. You're not really like finding anything out of it. And then like that's how I felt to me. Like I enjoyed chemistry at that time, but it was like I felt like I was forcing myself to enjoy it. It wasn't natural. And then when I was doing computer science, like yeah, like everybody knows it's a lot of work, but I mean like I'm not forcing myself to do the work and forcing myself to enjoy the work. It's like I do it and I like doing it.
Well, I'm glad at least that you were able to find, a subject that you actually enjoy, and one that you can continue to grow and evolve with. And I know you mentioned that you spent, a summer trying to figure out a better path as opposed to pre-pharmacy. Was that the summer before, like this recent summer before sophomore year, or the summer before freshman year?
It was actually the summer before freshman year, so it was like before even I enrolled into college. If there's, it's like something that I already knew I wasn't gonna do, but like I was just like I haven't really found something else that I kind of enjoyed, so I was just like I was just gonna go through it, and then like just freshman year overall, I feel like that goes off with everyone, unless you're like really nose down and you want to and you want to do uh, medicine or like some type of medical industry job and you want to do pre-med, go for it. But I mean, for me, it was like I kind of wanted to do it, but then I also wanted to do something else. So like, freshman year, just go out and like take all the courses so like which ones you want to do or like something that you actually like. Cause like sometimes I feel like a lot of people's majors are like really forced.
Yeah, but I'm so glad that you figured that out early on, and you didn't like try to suffer through the 4 years and then just now what? Because I
Exactly.
mean that yeah, I mean that would have been like torture for you as a student and for you trying to figure out what to do next.
No, no, yeah. It's like I've heard like a lot of people where like they get through their undergrad and then they're like, oh, now what? And they can't really decide what they want to do. And then I feel like, and that's like kind of happening to like my brother. So he loves fashion, he loves design, and that's what he did. He majored in design, but now he's like, now what? Because he's like, he's about to graduate. He doesn't really know what to do. He like, it's not like, I just felt like he would have been better off doing something else. And now he's like debating on re going through undergrad and getting another degree in like, um business or something, because he was just like, I think that's what happened to him. He tied his hobby and tied like what he enjoyed to do with a job, and like that kind of like messed him up a little bit. And now he's like, I kind of don't know if this is like overall what he wanted to do. You know what I mean? Like he's just now he's like contemplating on going through college again, and it's just troubling. It's like he's going through like kind of a midlife crisis. I really hope for him, but no, he's about to graduate soon, and I hope he figures everything out.
Wow. Well, I hope he does. You know, he is able to figure things out. But I mean, I think that's the hard thing too, is that like you go into college and you know that you're supposed to pick a major for your degree, but it's sort of like you're supposed to figure out like your whole life up until the point that you start your degree plan, and then you're just supposed to sort of hope that you have it figured out, even though life really is like a learning process. So it's just like you have to make sure that, like you said, you're going into something that you enjoy, but something that you're not going to hopefully regret later.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are like going through it, and I feel like that's what freshman and sophomore year is all about, like figuring out like I guess what you truly want to do, because like that's like what I did, where I went through and I like took a lot of different courses trying to figure out what I truly wanted to do. And it's like I took a computer science course, and then like I fell in love with like coding and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, this is something I actually want to do, other than like the different sciences and like research and stuff like that. But I mean, it's just testing the waters and see like what you actually like to do, you know?
Absolutely. And yeah, and continuing on though, I mean, so how was your freshman year really getting adjusted to life on campus and starting like you said, your educational home essentially?
All right. So during freshman year, I was like really just the only people that I like hang out with were like my roommate and then the friends of my roommate and I. I didn't really like go out. I didn't join any clubs. I didn't like join any like organizations on campuses and stuff like that. And I feel like that's what I like missed out on, because this year I've joined like a lot of multicultural organizations, and I was just like letting myself out there, and it's just like, oh, this is exactly, I kind of felt like this is exactly what I needed, because like freshman year I was just doing work, 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 study, 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 and then like I I didn't really have time, or not, I didn't have time. I just didn't really find time to like just relax a little bit. I was just I remember throughout spring semester I was just so burnt out. The only thing I would do is just work, and I would just lay in bed. I did not want to do anything else other than just lay in bed, because I was just like so burnt out. And now like I feel like throughout this semester, I truly like found a balance between like, oh, work, and then like friends, and like having time for myself, because I felt like that's what I needed, just overall time for myself, where I shouldn't like feel so burnt out again, because like you just completely focus your mentals on work every single day, where like your brain needs a time to relax.
That is so true though. And it's like even though that you are on a campus that you are a full-time college student, that doesn't mean that needs to be your whole life.
No, yeah, it's just even though you're a full-time student, you still need time, like yes, you live on campus, and yes, you feel like you're a student all the time, but it's like high school, where you like you go to school, you go home, you do your homework, but you still find time to like go out with friends, and you like play video games, whatever you want to do. Like you don't have to be a student 24/7. It's like that's what I felt. It's like being on campus, living on campus, yeah, it's nice, but then it's like you feel like a student 24/7, but then like that's what you need to figure out, where it's like your dorm is like your house. You are allowed to do something else other than schoolwork. So yeah, that's what I needed to like realize during that time.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to figure out that realization. And would you say that beginning to socialize a bit more, and meet other people allowed for you to not feel as burnt out as you previously did?
No, yeah, that, I think that's exactly what I needed. Like I needed like people to just hang out with, and just like forget that forget all my like deadlines, forget everything that are weighing on top of my shoulders. Cause like I feel like if you work all the time, your productivity kind of goes down. Even though you feel like you're working the entire time, you're not as productive during your times of work. For me, it's like when I go out with friends and then like the next day where I come back and I like start doing work, um, I feel like even though I don't have a much time of work, I feel like I got more done during that time because then you're like, I think mindset change where it's like, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to stay focused throughout this timing and I'm going to get all this stuff done so I can spend some of the rest of the day doing something other than work.
Well, yeah, it really does, help impact you and really allows for you to be more productive because I feel like sometimes when it's just you alone with your work, it feels like everything is reliant on you finishing this one thing and it can stress you out just from overthinking about the thought.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, I feel like before while I was doing work all the time, it's like, oh, I already worked up to this point. I'm burnt out. I'm just gonna go back to my dorm and lay down and sleep. I don't feel like I can do this another time. Or it's like now for me, it's like I'm going to get this done right here, right now during this time frame. And it's like it's good when you have a. I procrastinated way too much last year, and I feel like I'm still doing that now, but it's a little better because it's like I have a. I started doing like a lot of just chuck ups and like check lines or like just putting everything in schedule where like I have boxes where like I'm gonna finish this task today and I'll check it off and it's like a psychological effect that kind of works for me. It's like I have this thing and it's always on my phone where it's like get this done during this time and then you could like go work out, go to the gym, go have fun with your friends, whatever. It doesn't matter what I do, but during this time frame, I have to get this done so I can get it off my phone. You know?
I love that. And I think that's just such a great method to do it and finding what works for you because not every method even works for every person, but it's like it's like okay, what is it that's going to force me to do this work and not set it off for another time?
No, yeah, it's like especially like bigger projects, and it's like that's what I guess people need to learn in the future where it's like nothing is like short deadline. It's like I give you this thing, finish it in 2 days, turn it in 2 days. But in the especially like when I'm in computer science where you're like on a big project and it's like you might finish this project and like usually like it takes a month for a project to be done, but like this project sits there and it's like you still have to come back to this project when there's bugs or like if there's any type of other like issues with your algorithm or like code or like you find like better code to like replace your old code. It's like a long like longevity type of thing where it's like you you have to figure out a certain you're like I finished this part of my project or this part of my work today and then I'll go back to it, finish the second part or the third part or whatnot until like you're done. But like overall it's like you don't have to finish everything in one sitting. I think that's what I needed to learn.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to figure that out at least before you finish out your freshman year, and now you can use these techniques for your sophomore year and beyond.
No, yeah, I mean, it just feels like I needed to realize like what is out there in the world and it's like tying that up with stuff cuz like in high school where I got used to, oh, I'm just here in this one sitting. I'll just finish this assignment and I'll just move on with my day. Whereas like now it's like, oh, you have big assignments and big projects where you can't finish in 1 day or 2 days. That's why like professors give you 2 weeks on a deadline because it's not for you to do it in one night because that's like basically impossible to do in one night. It's not like meant for you to do that. So I like now learn to like start early where like I do a little bit and then like I move on and then I do a little bit tomorrow or like the next day after that.
So you mentioned in passing a little bit ago that in addition to hanging out with your friends and everything, that you also like, working out and doing some other stuff like any sport. So what is it that you like to do in your free time when you're not spending time with friends, or or of course doing your studies?
Yeah, so usually instead of I spend a lot of time with my friends, but like I always go to I usually try to go to the gym 5 4 to 5 times a week. So I do that all like in between classes or like at night just when I have free time. It's just something cuz I knew I was getting really unhealthy during a time frame of like spring semester throughout the summer where I was just not going to the gym and I was just not doing all that. And then I was like, now that I'm back in the gym and I work out or play, or I go in and just play basketball or stuff like that, it just really helps me like um, express all the, or not express, just like it feels like something I need to do physically to get everything out. And then like some people or like I not just some people, I do it too, or like at night where I don't feel like going to gym because like I'm too tired. I just sit and I play video games or something. So that's something that like helps me escape too, honestly.
Well, I'm glad at least that you're able to, to have these opportunities to, like I said, release that excess energy and just, yeah, have fun with your day, but at the same time, like you said, working to stay healthy and, physically active.
No, yeah, because I felt like mentally I was just drained, but I didn't but then like I feel like when you're mentally drained, it also affects your like how physically drained you are too, because if like you don't have power mentally, then you can't really get yourself to go up even though you like have enough power to like do whatever else physically. And it's like that's what's kind of been happening like past with me, or it's like I just wasn't healthy overall and like mentally or like physically. It's just like I was just like I don't want to say lazy, but it's kind of like what it is. I felt like I just didn't want to do anything. I knew I had to get work done, and then like going to the gym was like um a pick and choose for me. Like you don't have to go to the gym and or whatnot. You don't have to go out and play sports or whatever. And that's I think that's what's going on with me before, where it's like, oh, I don't have to do this. It's just waste of energy, and it's like I could just spend my time here doing nothing, and it's like, oh, this is getting. And then I realized throughout like the end of summer, I was like, oh, this is getting really, really unhealthy for me. This is not what I need to be doing. So then that's when I like started going back to the gym and I just felt my like overall productivity and like my like overall just like um I guess feelings or like um how I feel overall just like increased dramatically, and it's like, oh, this is I need this is something that I actually need to do.
Well, I'm glad at least you were able to figure that out for yourself. And just for context, was that summer of last year, or summer, or this most recent summer?
Oh, it was definitely this most recent summer because I was like so during this summer, I had like an internship where, yeah, I would like record these like students out of the academy, and then like overall would do a video. But then like during this time frame or like these weeks, I just it was a it was like a lot of work in like just 1 week where I didn't really have time to like because your schedule would go from 7 in the morning to like 8 or 9 at night to like when they're done with their like day, and then that's when you're done, and then like I have to spend some of the rest of my night like editing, so I like had no time to like the gym or whatever. But like that was only like a week or two. But then like I felt like I was wasting not wasting, but like I spent so much of my energy during that week or like the next week where like I didn't have an academy to myself. I just lay down. I didn't want to go to the gym. I didn't want to do anything. And then like I think that was when I realized like what kind of like my issue, where it's like, oh, you needed to go up and do something, not nothing.
Yeah, because I think it's one thing to sort of have a, you know, an active rest in the sense of like you're at least like walking around or doing something. Like it may not be anything too strenuous, but at least you're still doing stuff. But it's another thing to just sit and actually do nothing.
No, yeah, that's actually like what I did, like, I would just wake up and then, like, I get food and then I just lay back down and, like, pull out my phone and just scroll through, like, TikTok or something like that. It was just, like, so unhealthy of me to, like, do, like, just wake up, eat, and then go right back into bed. Like, I don't know why. I just felt like I I also felt a little burnt out during that or this past summer doing all that, but I mean, like, it was just and then by the end, where I like after I like finish an academy week, and then the next week where I take like 1 day break, and then like the next day I'll just get up and then like force myself out of bed because I felt like I got into the habit or like doing nothing, and then like I need to change that habit and break it.
Yeah, and I actually want to take a step back. And so, are you able to tell us, like, how did you find out about your most recent internship, and what overall was the internship for those who are watching or listening?
No, yeah. So the internship that I did this summer, I was a media intern for the Virginia Space Grant Consortium. But yeah, so I interned for them. It was like uh, it wasn't I'd spent a lot so they had these, like, little academy weeks where they, like, bring in, like, high schoolers who signed up, and then, like, they bring them on, like, the NASA, we actually usually do most of the work on NASA Langley, or and then we also went to NASA I also went to NASA Wallops. I was usually mostly in NASA Langley, but, like, overall, the idea is, like, these kids come to the NASA base, and then their work is like they have to finish an entire mission in like 1 week and then present it to like actual NASA like workers and stuff, and then they get questioned on that. It's kind of like in real life where like um a group of or like astronauts like go out and like do their mission with the team, and then like they get paneled, and then like you get questioned like by the public or something like that, and then but they also like get to tour the base and like things of that nature. So like my job was like to film them, and then like up to that all week, and then like by like a Friday, which is like their closing ceremony, I have to like make a closing ceremony video for them to like watch, and for all the parents like look up back upon like what they did this entire week. But to answer the other question of like how I found it, but it's actually funny because I had like this like 1 credit class of like I was trying to find like a computer science internship, but I couldn't really find one. And then I had this like 1 credit class where I got really close with this professor, Professor Peter Kemper, and I was like just telling them like, man, I can't not find any opportunities. Okay. So I was talking to a professor, Professor Kemper, and I was trying to like talk to him like because I was getting all these like rejection emails from like all the other computer science industries where it's like or like the software industries, and they're like, oh, we don't like you didn't have enough experience or whatnot. And which is true, like you're a freshman, you don't really like have a lot of experience in whatever industry you're in. But where he was like, "Oh, you have a little bit of media." Like I work for the athletic media on campus, and like I was taking pictures for them. What else? And he knew that, and he's like he found this like media internship for uh Virginia's space grant. So they're like, so he like sent this email also over to me. He's like, oh, maybe you would be excited or not excited, but interested in this. So I was like, okay, I don't really have an opportunity. I didn't feel like, just not doing anything all summer. So I was like, why not? So I threw my application in there, and they reached out like 2 or 3 weeks later. They're like, hey, we're actually interested in you. And like, they like set an interview up, and yeah, there's that, which is really funny because like a computer science and like my advisor like helped me find this job where it wasn't like in the industry, but he was like it's just good to like have a little bit of work experience.
But I'm so glad at least that you were able to have opportunity, and like you said, just at least have some type of opportunity for the summer. And so you mentioned that you had you mentioned before that you had an athletic media work that you had done prior that sort of guided you towards this internship, or rather for your professor to find out about to guide you towards this internship. And so to backtrack a little further, so what really got you even to do the athletic media work?
So actually I never so it was actually during high school that I had a friend named Caleb, shout out to him. He is actually like a semi-professional like videographer, so like he has people like come out to him, and like he shoots like music videos for all those people, and he like got me into like not video, but like more, I enjoyed more photography than video, so that's more like my specialties are in more photography related stuff. But like he like got a new camera, and it was just like it's like laying around, and I was just like, dude, can I just like buy your camera so I could like mess around too? And that's what I did. I bought his camera, and then like I started messing around like senior year of high school, just like going out, take pictures of whatever. And then like sees freshman year started of college, and then I was like, I wanted a job, and like just to like something to do. I guess I just wanted a job because like I need to do work for like some like something to get for me to like spend like food on. That's what I wanted. And then like so I got the athletic media job, and then I actually really enjoyed it during that time where I was courtside, or like I was on the side of the sideline taking like live action pictures of everything. So I was like, that was really fun. And then like overall, like that was just so interesting. You like just sitting courtside and like amongst an entire crowd, and you're just like taking pictures of everything. And then that's what I did for like the whole entire year. They sent me like an offer again this year, but like I kind of wanted to take a break, so I didn't accept it. But I told them that I would go back sooner or later in the future.
Well, even though that that you're not able to do it now because, of course, having just done the internship, which I'm about to hit back on in a moment, but having just done the media work the first time, then the internship, and now you're right here at the beginning of the semester. I'm sure that's like a lot. So I can definitely understand that you'd want a break, but at least that they did at least offer it to you again, and at least you were able to gain a bit from that experience.
No, yeah, it was like really fun because I remember during that experience I wasn't really used to, just picking up a camera and then like shooting a ton of pictures and then like knowing when to capture the right shots. I feel like that like taught me like, oh, just like have a camera ready, and then it's like you never know when and what's gonna happen. So like I kind of like it kind of trained me to like, oh, just take pictures of. And then like once you like start doing it a lot, you know when things you kind of just get a feeling of when things are gonna happen. So like I guess that's what happened to me, where it's like I knew when certain things were about to happen, and like I just knew the right times to pick up a camera. And like not saying I'm like perfect, of course, like I miss a certain moment where like, dang, I knew that would have been a good shot, but if I got it. But I mean, overall, it's like it taught me like how to take pictures in like a fast pace, especially like with sports.
Yeah, and I mean, with it being sports, I mean, it's life. You don't have a chance to just, redo it. It's you have to get it the one time, and or that's it.
Exactly. You only have like one chance at it. And that's what like um with like the media intern that I did, where it's like the kids like you only have one shot at like their experience at NASA, or like when they're touring, you only get one shot at like their reactions and stuff like that. So like I think that's what like prepared me for all of that work and during the summer.
Well, nevertheless, I'm glad at least that you were able to have that type of experience, and that your previous experience helped prepare you for this one. But going into your space grant internship, though, like, how was the experience for you, like, going into it? I know you spoke a bit earlier about like the long weeks that you would have, of course, and your time off, but for the internship itself, how was the experience for you, like filling the role of a videographer?
No, at first I had to like let them know. I was like, so I base in photography. I've never really like yeah, I've done a little bit of videos for like I like to vlog or whatever, but I've never really like professionally, I guess, edited a video before. And then like I was so thankful for them because my advisor, he during before any of this like academy week started, he would like train us a little bit about like the basics that you need to like make these videos happen, and like he like taught us one by one, and I was like so thankful for that. And then like but I mean, speaking on the internship and the space grant as a whole, I would say it was, even though like I was talking about these like long weeks and whatnot, but it was just so like it was just very enjoying. Even like you would like just saying that you do work on, like you could basically just say you work for NASA during the summer, because like that's where you were. Like I was at NASA the entire year, these two different bases, and I was just there all the time, and like you got to see all these cool things, and even I got to see like the Artemis, like um oh, I can't remember the launch name anymore, but like well, I got to like watch an actual like rocket launch during the summer. So like it was just like a bunch of like once in a lifetime things that like normally people don't get to see, and it's like so interesting.
Yeah, I mean, some people who even like do this stuff for a living may not even have a chance to do some of the stuff that you were able to do, and like only having finished your freshman year. I mean, how cool is that?
No, it was like I never would have thought like doing just media work would land me like on NASA base. And it was like, even though like I would let people know that, oh, I'm not really the media guru or like specialist. I actually love computers. And like I think that like kind of helped me like let people know, and then like network a little bit for my like actual like job, because like doing camera work is more like a hobby, and like I feel like that's what I noticed this year, between like picking your hobby and picking like what you want to do for work. And then like I noticed like cameras, photography, videography, I wanted to keep that as a hobby, not as a job.
Well, I'm glad at least that you were able to network with people and get to know them, and so were you actually able to speak with the fellow interns there at the academy doing their work as well?
No, yeah, during that summer I wanted to say I've made like a lot of like probably like I want to say lifelong friends, because like we were like, you had a week, and then like some of these like interns, like other interns would like work multiple weeks, so like I got to know them multiple weeks. But I mean like you were just with them the entire week, so like no matter what, you guys had to like bond for that entire week. So like for me it was like there was a couple of people that I like got really close with, and I still like speak with them on a daily, like to this day. So I was like very thankful for that, because like I thought I was just gonna be like that weird camera guy in the corner all the time, and like I wasn't gonna talk to anyone. But I mean that everybody was super nice, and then like close, and like it just felt like we were getting through these weeks all together.
I love that you were able to have sort of that bonding experience with the work like built into it. And so like have you ever had an experience like that, prior to this internship?
Actually I don't, cause like I've always like had deadlines, but like I've never had like a deadline like them, where it's like you had to get something done, like record in the morning and then like have a video done at night, and it's like a really tight deadline. And I think like that kind of trained me too, where it's like get work kind of done, and it's like it's actually kind of like nice in this, in a sense. It's like kind of trained me in a certain way, but then like overall it was just like the experience was like really nice, and like the everybody, like the interns and whatnot, we were just felt like we're all together trying to like get through these weeks like all together, like I said before.
Well, I'm glad at least you were able to, yeah, like I said, to bond with your sort of fellow interns, sort of,
Mhm.
even though they're doing stuff that's different than what you were doing,
Yeah.
but nevertheless having that sort of experience. But what would you say is like one of your favorite experiences from doing that internship? Anything that really stood out to you as like, I guess, an unforgettable experience? I'm sure there were several though.
I don't know, there were like so many unforgettable experience, but I mean, one I think that um could not forget is definitely the rocket launch, because like who can just like say that they've just watched a rocket launch before. And like for me, like that I was able to set a camera down and actually shoot the rocket launch, that was just amazing. And it was just like it was just so surreal, and you could just see a rocket launch happening like in your own like eyes and then just see it first person. It was just so surreal, I have to say.
That's amazing that you were able to have that experience, see the launch, and overall, I mean, just so many just fun experiences. It sounds like, and especially like, I mean, taking all things into consideration, the fact that you are now, like I said, the beginning of your sophomore year, and you can already say that you've worked at two NASA bases, yeah, saw a rocket launch, and all of that. And I mean, all in a summer.
And then like that sounds like a lot, but I mean, it was just it was just overall just so fun and so surreal. Like the experience was amazing, hands down. I mean, like I was so thankful for the opportunity and like just being able to say I've worked at NASA before is just so much, such a crazy thing to say, but it's just so nice to like have that experience.
I'm so glad. And yeah, and something that you mentioned in this, and how you hadn't really edited like true videos before this, aside from like maybe mini vlogging stuff or whatever. Um, so so if I heard you right, you said that you actually like used to at least record anyway, like vlogish stuff. If I heard that right.
Yeah, like before like I would just record like a day in the life, like what I did, like just recording like aesthetical stuff in general. Like I kind of like enjoy doing that. Just like I guess it's just like something to do during like to fill time. It was just something creative that I enjoyed doing.
Do you still do that out of curiosity?
Um okay. Actually I don't really have too much time on my hands these days, so I want to do it. I want to really get back into it, but like at the moment it's just like I don't have a lot of time to like do that. But like if during the summer or something like that, if I like find something cool, or like for example if I like went on a trip or something, I would love to record like during the life of the whatever trip I was on.
That's pretty cool. And speaking of trips, I know that you actually just went on a computer science conference not too long ago, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was just like it was either this past weekend or 2 weeks ago. It was just like it just happened recently. But no, I was in um Dallas, Texas at the Richard Tapia Computer Science Conference. That conference was very, very I have to say like eye opening. I did the amount of people that were there was just insane. I remember getting there on the first day at the career fair and every single booth was packed with people and I was just like, oh my goodness, like this is. And then I had to step out and then like during the first day, like I was just like, okay, I'll come back tomorrow. I need to gather myself together because there was like a few thousand people there and it was just insane.
And how was that for you, as someone who, of course, is a aspiring person within the field, college student, like to be at that type of conference and network with all of those different people?
It was at first I have to say, um, um, it was just like overwhelming a little bit because like you are well, it was overwhelming for first because I got there and I wasn't planning on going to talk to anyone during the career fair because I was in like my NASA t-shirt and like sweatpants and I was just like going in there in my airport fit and then like I was like walking around and I was just like, oh, this is cool. And then my professor was like, oh, talk to people. And I was just like, I am not in the right outfit to talk to people at that moment. But then like but everybody was just like so professional and like I was looking at everybody's resumes and stuff like that and I just felt like it was like I needed to remember I was a sophomore and then like 90% of the people there are either PhD masters or just or like upperclassmen about to graduate trying to find a job, whatnot. And then like only a select few are like me who are like sophomores looking for like internship opportunities or like just got out of their freshman year. It's like there's not a lot of me. I've only like when I was there out of the thousands, I only saw like or not saw. I only talked to like one or two that are like along like what I was doing. and it was like it was like kind of downgrading because like I would walk up to a table, I would talk this entire time, and I'd be like, so I'm this and this, I'm looking for like an internship or whatnot, and then they're like, oh, sorry, we're actually not like doing blah blah blah, and then like I was like, oh dang, so I like spent all this time talking to you, and then like, but then I mean like it kind of like it was really interesting because then like you talk to these all these big companies like Mastercard, Meta, uh JP Morgan, all these like big companies that are there. It was like really interesting because you get to hear like all their like because their recruiters are like past like interns or like past, so you got to like learn like everybody's like experiences and stuff like that, and it was just so interesting.
Well, even though like it did seem like you're able to like find like an internship per se, at least you were able to meet people and at least gauge the audience a little to see like, who does what and some potential opportunities down the line.
No, even though like they didn't like hire like out of the blue like interns, but I mean like it was still really cool because like they would tell me that, oh, there's these like internships coming up, maybe you're interested in that, and then like they were still able to look over my resume and be like, okay, maybe you should add these or like do some of this stuff to like add to your resume or whatnot. But it was like overall just like a helpful experience to like my future career overall. And then like I felt like that trip overall, the experience was completely worth it when I was able to talk to Riot Games. And Riot Games is like this kind of like gaming company, but like I've always that was like my dream job to work at. So I was even they didn't really have a table, but I was on LinkedIn and I was like able to like see like one of their like not recruiters, but like just people that like it's like their outreach program. Like they're like there just to walk around, and I was able to like hit them up and like have a sit down conversation. Like there was I think three other people, and I was just like able to talk to them. They listened to like my experience and stuff like that, and that was like I felt like just be able to talk to like a company that I wanted to work at is like so surreal and like so just like amazing, and I've just felt like that entire trip was just worth it.
That is so cool, and at least you were able to go. And out of curiosity, how many people from your college were able to go to that trip?
So College of William and Mary, we were so I had to take again speaking on that one credit course that I took. That actually was the most useful class that I had because it landed me to the trip here. But they were able to sponsor six of us to go and just like have a good time there.
That's good. And out of curiosity, what was this one credit class that you had?
This one credit class was called DEI in the computer science industry, and then I was just, um, of course, like a person of like the minority, where I was just like experiencing like different types of hardships, especially in the work industry. I was just curious and like I was at 17 credits, and then like the max was 18, and I was just like I just wanted to make myself feel good and take one more extra class overall. Also, that was also a reason why. But then, like that class was just one of the most useful and like overall, like kind of like it got me into all these like it was so helpful into getting me like experiences and like just chances overall.
Well, I'm glad at least that I mean it was able to open so many different doors for you. And did you ever expect any of that like when you first signed up for the class?
Oh no, not at all. I thought I was just taking like one credit course. I was just gonna learn a little bit more about like the hardships in computer science for like the minority. And then like I had no idea that the professor was like, okay, so we have these trips open or like submit your resume. I'm gonna submit it to like the career center. I didn't know that this class was it was meant for this. I thought it was just like, oh, you learn about like history or like the computer science or whatever that sort of things. But it's like I had no idea I was getting all these experiences and like all these like doors that like you said, or I had all these opportunities open for me.
That is amazing though. And yeah, I feel like it's always like these small connections sometimes that make such a big difference. I know like for me even I was in a internship class during my I guess, junior year of undergrad, and the professor of the internship course asked me to just be on this panel, and I had declined like twice, but she convinced me to be on the panel, and it was for an organization I wasn't even a part of. And fast forward to today, like I am a executive board member of the student organization, and its alumni chapter now as a graduate student, and was even able to go to it like an international conference, which was also in Texas. So I mean, to think how many opportunities that you're able to make with just connections that you would never even think that you'd get is just extraordinary.
No, yeah, I feel like a lot of stuff like this, like along the lines with like my media internship, like stuff just like happens out of nowhere, and you have like you didn't even plan on it happening, and it just kind of happens in like a right way sort of flow, and it just kind of flows, and everything just like happens, and it's just like all like good for you kind of, and it's just like the I feel like the best things comes when like you aren't expecting it a lot of the times.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I feel like I don't know. Sometimes I feel like when you seek opportunities, it's like sure it may happen. It may be one of the best opportunities you have, but I feel like some of the best ones are the ones that you don't even seek. It just happens. Like you meet somebody that you never would have had a chance to meet, or you get to go somewhere that that just changes your life. I mean, you just really never know.
No, yeah, like so it's kind of like a blessing in disguise kind of sort of things like that. It's like you kind of just like live, and then like you are always like trying to find like these opportunities for yourself, but then like you sometimes you like don't get those opportunities, and then like a different like a third party or like somebody else would just come out of nowhere and just like give you an opportunity, and it's like wow, I had no idea this was gonna happen, or like I already lost like my entire like I just had no motivation, or like I thought I wasn't gonna do anything in this sort of career or whatnot. I had no idea, and then like all of a sudden like something happens, and then you're like, oh, I could get right back into it.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I feel like those are just some of the best ones, like you said. And it might be truly where one door has to close for like an even better opportunity to open. And I know it's always just like, oh man, like we really, really wanted whatever opportunity. But it's some of these other ones that show up that I think really just make the difference in our lives and help show us what we want to do in the future or what we don't want to do. Either or.
Yeah, no, it's like um if I it's kind of like the media intern that I got with Space Grant. Like, yeah, it was like amazing, and it was like so fun, and like I thought the experience was amazing. But like it kind of like showed me like, oh, I should probably keep me holding a camera as a hobby and like sort of thing. It was like it was so it was like like I said before, like I had no idea I was gonna do even more work during the summer in the media field in general, but like it just kind of happened, and then like things happen and the way it is, and then like I did it, and then like even though like I have to say I completely enjoyed it, but then like in the end I learned that oh, this is not what I wanted to do as a career.
Yeah, and I completely understand that. And going, further through your, the rest of your undergraduate career and beyond, like what type of opportunities would you want for yourself going forward?
Um, any opportunities that I want for myself. I'm trying to think. It was definitely like something in the computer science or like software industry. I really like game development also, and like the back ends of that, or even like the front end, just like creating like how the game looks like, anything of that sort of nature. And then like just something in like software or like technology, or like just in the tech field. I definitely say any internships or like stuff like that.
Well, I definitely hope that you're able to find some internships within that field going forward. And and even though on a different side of things, since you mentioned games, I know that you are also a Twitch streamer as well.
Yeah, I used to do that a lot, but now I kind of after since like freshman year, I kind of just like laid off. I haven't really like streamed a whole lot, but I used to like do it a lot during high school. That was just like for fun.
Yeah, and out of curiosity, how long had you been doing Twitch streams?
Um, I think it was I started during COVID because I was getting bored and like school wasn't really doing anything, and then I just had a lot of free time on my hands, and like to fill that free time, I'd spend a lot of time playing video games with my friends, and I felt like we were really funny, and then I was just like, well, why not just stream it and like let the world. Maybe somebody would like come and watch and like find us also like really funny too. So like that's what we did. So I streamed like us, uh, our conversations on like live streams and stuff like that. And we got a handful of people watching us in the past. So no, that was really fun to do.
Were you able to like sort of build up a little community for it too?
Yeah, we had like on the regular, I think the most ever like viewers I had was like I think 30 or 40, but like on the regular, we had like 5 to 10 people like watching us at all times. So it was like, oh, these people like actually genuinely just like sit for hours on end, just like not they don't have to watch us, but like listening to us or like have us in the background, which is like kind of nice. Like actually, people like just willing to like sit there and like watch us for on long periods of time.
Wow. And were there any games in particular that you like streaming?
We used to stream a lot of Valorant, that which is another one of Riot's games. But then like we usually it's Valorant, but like we played a lot of like other games such as I'm trying to we played a lot of Apex, and then we played a lot of um I'm trying to think. It's been such a long time. I can't really remember, but yeah. And oh, and Call of Duty, and that's like the three games that we kind of like spend a lot of time on.
Well, even though I'm not much of a gamer, I definitely will, let's say, check out your streams if you ever do end up returning to it. But like I said, I mean, I really like that you have like so many different diversified experiences from your more academic ones and professional ones to even like your personal stuff that you do on the side. And so it's fun to hear like how much you're able to do in relatively little time.
No, yeah, I think I feel like I'm the type of person that like I find a little interest in every little thing. Like I don't find like nothing not interesting. And then like I always want to try it for like a little bit, even like if I don't, and then in the end, like if I don't like it, then like yeah, I know I don't like it, but like I feel like I have a little interest in like everything. I love trying little things of like streaming, gaming, sports, whatever. Like I always like finding like interest. I have a little interest in like all the different sorts of hobbies that people have.
I love that. And in some sense I'm sort of the same way with that. Like I do some stuff on the technology side, some a lot of stuff of course, especially academically on the communication side. That's what my major is. But even STEM and podcasting here. I mean, I love like a little bit of anything and everything. And so I love whenever you get to explore a little bit outside of your comfort zone too, but then also expand on what you just enjoy because why not?
No, yeah, because like before I felt like I was like stuck in like being in the comfort zone, and I feel like I needed to get out of that. Like I feel like that's what everybody needs to just like try new things, try like to like touch upon like anything and everything you can, just like whatever, just like have experience in like everything. And it's just like it's actually really fun to like just trying new things. I don't know why, because I remember one of the things I tried during, or I think it was like right after like the when COVID was like during its end, I went and like my cousin bought like mountain bikes, and then like we went to like our nearby park and we started mountain biking. It was kind of painful at first, but then like in the end it was just like super fun. So I was like, it's just like walking out of your comfort zone in general is just like actually like something that I feel like people should do, because it's like once you are so comfortable in things, you just kind of like relax, and it has like no like um it feels like there's no like something to like motivate you because you are so like comfortable in what you do.
That is so true. And I'm glad that you're able to try out mountain biking. How was that?
That was that was at first it was like I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I know how to bike, but like I wasn't like a mountain biker. Like mountain biker is different. You like there's like a ton of like stuff in the way, and then like you just have to learn like how to like bike with like not on flat ground, and it's like downhill, uphill, and then it's like a lot of rocks in your way, and then like just a ton of obstacles. And then like at first I fell so many times and I had bruises everywhere, but then it was like it was just really fun, I think.
Well, nevertheless, I'm so glad that you were able to at least get out of your comfort zone, try that out, and yeah, and I'm sure throughout your your the rest of your college journey that you will be trying out many new things to come, and who knows what opportunities will unlock for you between now and your graduation in a couple years.
No, yeah, thank you for that. No, I've always look forward to whatever the future brings me, whether that be good or bad. I mean, I feel like, you know, whatever it is, it happens for a reason, so gonna I'm very excited for whatever the future holds for me. And same to you as well, as a um graduate student at such a younger age that people are like, "Oh, you're a graduate student already?"
Yeah, it's so funny because I feel like I don't. It's so bizarre to me. Still, it's just like people would tell me about their experiences, and all of my peers are, I guess, now seniors in undergrad, and so a lot of times I will hear people online even saying like what they're doing next, and like I want to contribute to the discussion, but then I have to pause. I'm like, oh wait a minute, I did that already. It's bizarre.
No, yeah, like exactly what you say. It's like the I have like some friends in high school where, like I mean, I've been trying to help them out because like they're most of them are seniors, and they're like they don't really know what to do, and it's like one of like they're just like not knowing like, especially with college applications. I remember I went through like a lot during that time. Like I was I was actually like UVA was my dream school, but then like I got like rejected from them. And then like but I mean that just was another door opening to like Wilma Mary. Like I'm so thankful in being here, like the opportunities they have here for me. And it's just like even though stuff that you wanted didn't happen, I felt like in the end, like in the future it just kind of falls into pieces.
Yes, it does. And I'm glad that you're able, like I said earlier, to find a home at the College of William and Mary. And, and like I said, I just really can't wait to see what you have in store for your future. And definitely keep me updated with everything that you do. I'd love to support you in any way that I can.
No, yeah, thank you so much, and same to you as well. I mean, I'm very curious on whatever you are like planning in the future, and like whatever the future holds for you also.
Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. And yeah, as we're beginning to close out as well, if anyone wants to follow you on any sort of social media pages or whatever the case may be to continue hearing your story, where are the best places for them to find you?
Definitely the best way to find me is definitely through my Instagram. I'm usually always on that. My Instagram profile is public, so like anything I post or like stuff like that, it's on there. If anybody can message me, that's why it's public. And then of course I also have a LinkedIn as well, and then you could see like everything on there. You can message me on there and things of that nature if you like want to talk about like professional stuff. But overall, like I love talking to people. I love like just having conversations with everyone. So yeah, don't like I just want to say don't be afraid to reach out if anybody is watching this.
Yeah, I definitely hope that they do reach out to you because I mean it's just been so fun speaking with you, thus far, and this has been such a pleasure.
No, yeah, it's been amazing also being on this podcast too. It's been really fun to just speak about like academically or like just like my career in general.
Thank you so much. And yeah, and if you ever want to come back on, please feel free to just let me know because you are always welcome here on the show, Justin.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course. And last but not least, I did want to say for anyone who is still watching and listening here today, what message would you like to leave people off with as they're yeah, as they're tuning in here to the show?
Oh, one final message. I have to say it's the same one. I feel like I've lived or like the same phrase that I've always lived up to before is just the phrase of it is what it is cuz like things happen, you kind of just like have to like feel it out and then like whatever happens, it is what it is. I mean like even if it's good, if it's bad, I mean like my experience with like my college applications, like things did not happen the way I wanted to and like oh well like I ended up at like a great institution and everything just fell into pieces and like during freshman year I couldn't find a internship or something like along the lines of my major, but in the end I still had like a surreal once in a lifetime opportunity last summer at NASA and stuff like that. So I mean in the end everything works out even if you think at the moment you're like lost or like you just can't find like what you want, but like in the end everything will fall into pieces.
I love that. Thank you so much, Justin, for being here and for chatting with us. This has been a just such a delightful time, and it was so fun having you.
No, thank you so much. And it was a great opportunity to just hop on and just talk with you today.
Thank you so much. For those of you watching or listening, thank you all so much for tuning in to this episode of the Tansson Talk Show. I always appreciate your support, but continue to tune in next week as we continue on our mission to bring people together. I'll see y'all later. Take care.